Good day. Welcome to a new episode of HKEXVoice, our podcast featuring insights from senior executives and industry leaders on Hong Kong's financial markets. I'm your host, 𝗙rie𝗹𝗹𝐿. Hong Kong is home to the largest pool of renminbi capital outside of mainland China. And for more than a decade, HKEX has been promoting renminbi trading in its markets to support the development of liquidity, and has some of the most diverse renminbi product offerings in the world. The launch of the Hong Kong dollar-renminbi Dual Counter Model is an exciting initiative that adds to this growing ecosystem of RMB-denominated products. Today, we are pleased to have back with us Wilfred Yiu, HKEX's Co-Chief Operating Officer and Head of Equities. He will tell us how the Dual Counter Model adds to HKEX's offshore renminbi universe and what it means to RMB internationalization and HKEX's Connect story. Good to have you back with us, Wilfred.
Thank you, 𝗙rie. I'm very happy to be here with all of you.
Wilfred, the Hong Kong dollar-renminbi dual counter model is closely interlinked with the development of Hong Kong as a leading offshore renminbi hub. So before we go into the specifics of this new initiative, could you give the audience an overview of RMB-denominated products in the Hong Kong universe?
Thank you, 𝗙rie. It's a pleasure to be here. Hong Kong, actually, as you remember, is the first renminbi offshore market, and we introduced it back in 2010. And it has been on a very steady expansion overall in terms of the offerings, and now it covers a wide variety of products in fixed income, equities, REITs, ETF, you name it. To further support the development of renminbi securities, we also have introduced other currency risk management tools, like our flagship dollar CNH products, which we introduced in 2012. And it has been growing into a flagship product on our shelf. Separately, away from that, the introduction of Stock Connect and Bond Connect obviously are significant milestones that we have grown our renminbi offerings for global investors. So our philosophy is allowing more global investors to have better accessibility to Chinese products via a most user-friendly mechanism on a very risk-prudent way, and increasingly the potential of using renminbi. And that is what we are trying to do in supporting the internationalization of renminbi and strengthening Hong Kong's role as world's leading offshore renminbi center. Among all those efforts, obviously the latest model that we have developed, which is a dual counter model, is one of the latest initiatives.
Oh, well, Wilfred, speaking of the dual counter model, how will that further enrich the RMB offerings on Hong Kong's markets? What innovation does this new initiative introduce?
In fact, that is the most exciting part that I want to share with the audience today. I'm most excited is about the introduction of the dual counter market making program alongside with this initiative. Under this program, market makers will offer buy and sell quotes on the renminbi denominated securities trading, providing consistent liquidity in the renminbi counter, linking up the liquidity between the Hong Kong dollar counter and the renminbi counter, and minimizing any price discrepancies between those two counters. With the increasing use of renminbi internationally, we are hoping the new model will help to give global investors more choices of trading currencies, and allowing both issuers and investors to tap this very fast-growing renminbi liquidity. And we will also encourage wider adoption of renminbi when trading Hong Kong listed shares, and that give rise to a wave of opportunities in renminbi for everybody.
This is very exciting indeed. So Wilfred, what has been the market reception so far to this new initiative, and what are your expectations for this program?
Yep, the market has been very positive about the new initiative. And we recently have been very, very busy about processing a lot of these applications from the issuers and also from the market makers, as you can imagine. So we are very pleased to see these positive receptions, and we can see there is very meaningful demand for renminbi securities. Now, sharing with you a little bit more on that. The first cohort under the model includes 24 companies, which represents over 40% of our cash market's average daily turnover. And many of these issuers are actually very well-known blue-chip companies. And we will also like the continued expansion of this model in future with more issuers to join us. Our team currently is very focused to ensure the successful launch of this initial stage of development for the dual counter model and also the market maker program. So we are very committed to provide a very robust, reliable platform to build out a solid foundation for all the participants to see the potential and participate in that growth. We believe that after this model introduction, we will be further onto our journey to enrich a broader set of renminbi product ecosystem in Hong Kong and help deepening that offshore pool of renminbi capital itself. It will take some time for the model to grow in liquidity and scale, but we are all very, very excited about the new opportunities.
Thanks, Wilfred. Last year, the China Securities Regulatory Commission, or CSRC, announced that it supports renminbi counters to be added to southbound Stock Connect, allowing mainland Chinese investors to trade Hong Kong-listed shares in renminbi. How does the current dual counter program help pave the way for this major development in the future?
This is indeed a very, very encouraging support from Mr. Fang, the Vice Chairman of CSRC. And we're all very, very encouraged about the opportunity, and this is very significant for Hong Kong. So once this measure is in place, it will be allowing mainland investors to trade Hong Kong listed shares in renminbi via our Pioneer Connect program and making our market more accessible and bringing more mainland investors through the southbound channel. The Hong Kong dollar renminbi dual counter is an important precursor to the addition of renminbi counters to Stock Connect, as this model will help develop and deepen liquidity in Hong Kong's renminbi market. And this eventually what will help is actually facilitating the development of cross-border renminbi capital circulation between Hong Kong and mainland markets. And a lot of those are through our Connect program.
Great potential indeed. Wilfred, after the rollout of this program, what's in store for the future for further development?
Great question. I think the dual counter model itself is just one part, but a very important part, I must add,
For sure.
to the further build-up of a more robust renminbi ecosystem in Hong Kong, one that will include accessibility to the A-share market through Stock Connect, the accessibility to renminbi bond through Bond Connect, as well as HKEX diverse selection of renminbi-related products. And all these are important building blocks to renminbi internationalization and further solidifying Hong Kong's position as the global offshore renminbi trading center. So as the next steps, of course, what we will do will be looking at potential of expanding the number of dual counter securities and allowing southbound Stock Connect trading to be denominated in renminbi. We recently opened the doors for international companies primarily listed in Hong Kong to be admitted to Stock Connect southbound, providing these issuers with accessibility to millions of mainland investors. With the new dual counter model, mainland investors could eventually buy shares in these international companies directly in renminbi, raising the appeal and convenience of these transactions. As we continue to complete the renminbi product ecosystem, together with the enhancement to our Stock Connect program, we will be able to attract even more liquidity to the dual counter securities and our market as a whole. And among the next steps, we will also be launching Chinese Treasury bond futures on HKEX. So there are a lot of excitement on the renminbi front as together we're building this ecosystem. So stay tuned for more.
And so stay tuned, we will, Wilfred. We will closely watch and with very keen excitement to the development of the offshore renminbi ecosystem in Hong Kong. Wilfred, it's always great to have you on. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
If you want to learn more about this podcast or HKEX's markets, please visit us at our website at hkex.com.hk. From all of us at HKEXVoice, thank you for listening and keep an ear out for our next episode. So long.